So, hello folks, and thanks for coming again. Well, I'm guessing you can tell from the title below that we're going to have some fun and a bit of roasted quantum eraser. So I've been indulging in a bit of intellectual self-flagellation, as one does. Look, my friends and colleagues, they already think I'm a bit eccentric for getting involved in this flat earth nonsense, so what the hell? I deserve it. Okay, well, here's the background. I was on a Discord server called 24/7 Flat Earth 2.0. That's where they ambush kids and get them to agree or get banned. Well, most of the kids were struggling, although some were making a good fist of it. Anyway, I thought I could help them out. It was kind of fun passing on questions and answers in their respective DM boxes. Well, that sent the flirfs into panic mode, and they forced the kids to reveal who was helping them under pain of permanent banning. So I told the kids to give in. Anyway, I got called a number of unsavory adjectives, as you can imagine, including Satan worshipper, and, well, I got permanently banned. Of course. Anyway, Quantum Eraser is Queen Dick there. He jumps in whenever a guest is getting ahead, asking tricky questions. And everybody is scared shitless of him. Look, I must confess, I thought Quantum Eraser was smarter than your average flirf. And guess what? He went on right ahead and proved me wrong. So let's listen.
No, it's by me, Quantum Eraser. This is the simplest flat Earth proof. This kills the entire sphere core right here. This is how simple it can be. No two people. You can't have two people live on a sphere. Here's the problem. You got Alice and Bob 40 miles away. From Alice's perspective, they're both looking at each other. From Alice's perspective, the Earth is falling away from her at every direction from a tangent from her feet at 8 inches per mile squared. But guess what? That same scenario has happened to Bob, and he's looking at Alice. See the problem?
Of course, QE managed to confuse just about everybody else. Listen to this.
I just don't understand the technical terms that everybody talks.
Well, that's why I busted it down to Alice and Bob, because this is the most basic. You don't need anything more than this, right? It is physically impossible to have two people live on a sphere because of the problem here between Alice and Bob. If they start walking towards each other, they're going to fall into an abyss.
Oop, QE, there you are. You gone and done it again. God dang, this is funny. So just like tiny-minded flirfs, Quantum Eraser doesn't understand. Up is right above your head, and down is below your feet. He has this idea that down is heading towards the South Pole and up is heading towards the North Pole. So neither Quantum Eraser nor his flat earthers can understand this simple concept. If Alice was 40 kilometers away from Bob and walking towards him, she would be heading towards her horizon. And every step she takes up is still directly above her head, and down is still beneath her feet. The same thing happens to Bob on his way towards Alice. Every step he takes up is still directly above his head, and down is directly below his feet. So understanding this pretty much separates you from being on the wrong side of the median IQ of 100. I'm joking, Vladdies. Oh, well, maybe a little. Seriously, if you're struggling with this, watch this video over and over until it sinks in. So let's see if we can demonstrate this on an exaggerated diagram. Now, before we start, I'd like to shout out fellow Aussie and friend Where's Wally for helping out with the following animation. That was designed to fix Quantum Eraser's nonsense. Now, Where's Wally makes some awesome flurf debunking content, so please get yourself over there and have a laugh. Now, notice that as Alice moves towards Bob, her horizon changes and eventually she uses her binoculars and sees Bob approaching her horizon. At first, she sees the top of his head, then his head and his shoulders, his midriff, and finally she sees his feet. And Bob, walking towards Alice, uses his binoculars and sees her head just above the horizon. Then he sees her head and her shoulders, and finally her feet just as she stands exactly at his horizon. So as they approach each other, they eventually don't need the binoculars to see each other. And Alice can now see her horizon behind Bob, and Bob can see his horizon behind Alice. Now this next bit might be a step too far, even for the 3-digit IQ flirfs. Yes, I mean the smart ones. Well, okay, I know that statement will invite a few comments. So think about what I said and think about a plane taking off from London and heading towards Sydney. So the pilot, who he's incidentally called Bob, continuously sees his horizon ahead of him, while up is above his head and down is below his plane. And the traffic controller, called Alice, is in the control tower at Sydney Airport. She picks up her binoculars and sees Bob's Boeing 747 just over the horizon. And as Bob's plane approaches, she notices it gets higher in the sky until he makes his final descent. That's when it starts coming down. So, while Bob's 747 makes its way to Sydney, he's not going downhill in the direction of the South Pole. His plane is heading in the direction of the South, parallel to the surface of Earth, just as it would traveling anywhere else on Earth. You know something? Just maybe this is just enough for some flirfs to understand and sound the collective ha-ha, instead of the usual nuh-uh. Look, I don't know that Quantum Eraser will get it. Maybe he'll suffer a little bit of embarrassment. Probably not. Quel dommage. Oh well, folks, that's enough. Thanks for popping by. I hope you had a good laugh and some of you learnt something. So please press the like or dislike to express your like or dislike for some logic. Press the bell to be notified of more and the subscribe button to support my channel. Thanks again. Cheers.